வாங்க ஒரு சிம்பிளான விஷயத்தை பார்க்கலாம்.
Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Data science is really all about finding those hidden patterns in massive amounts of information to solve big, complex business problems. And yeah, from the outside, it can kind of feel a bit like magic. But today, we're popping the hood on the data scientist's computer to actually look at the engine inside. We're going to explore the 5 core technologies that power modern data processing and analytics. But first, I want to throw a highly relatable problem your way. How exactly do you process 1 million customer records? Just think about that for a second. You absolutely cannot crunch that much data using a standard desktop calculator and a piece of paper. I mean, that would literally take you lifetimes. Modern business moves incredibly fast, and when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands or even millions of rows of information, you really need specialized tools to make sense of the whole shebang quickly and accurately. Okay, let's dive right into this. Let's clear up some terminology first so we're all on the same page. When people throw around the term data processing, all they really mean is taking raw, messy data, the kind with missing values, annoying typos, and completely confusing formatting, and cleaning it up. It's really just the act of organizing the chaos. And that brings us to our second piece of critical jargon, analytics. This is what happens right after the processing. It basically means studying that freshly cleaned data to find actual answers, uncover trends, and extract real value. So now that we have our baseline set, let's look at the 5 core technologies used to pull off these 2 exact tasks. Here's our blueprint for today. 1. The engine of data science. 2. The foundation and language. 3. Shortcuts and heavy lifters. 4. Showing off the work. And 5. Your next steps. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the engine of data science, building the base layer. Think about building a magnificent house. You've got to lay down a rock-solid foundation first, right? Well, step 1 in our tech stack is exactly that, the operating system. This is the literal base software running on a data scientist's computer. You know the familiar names: Windows, Mac, Linux. Literally, everything else we build today is going to sit directly on top of this. Now, most of us just take our operating system totally for granted. But for a data scientist, this vital base layer is precisely what allows all the subsequent heavy, complex data programs to run smoothly without crashing. It quietly manages the computer's memory and processing power, making sure that when you ask your machine to do some serious mathematical heavy lifting, the whole system stays perfectly stable. Moving on to Section 2, the foundation and language, speaking to the machine. So we've got our operating system locked in, and now for step 2, we introduce the Python language. Look, once the base is set, you need a way to actually communicate your instructions to it, right? Python is a computer programming language. Think of it exactly like learning English or Spanish, but instead of chatting with other people, you're using it to give highly specific instructions to a machine. Now, you might be wondering, out of all the programming languages out there, why Python? Well, Python is incredibly popular in data science for one huge reason. Its code features simple, clean grammar. It's famously easy for beginners to read and write because it strips away a lot of the confusing, messy punctuation required by older coding languages. And here's a fun fact for you. It wasn't even named after the snake. It was actually named after the comedy troupe Monty Python because the creator specifically wanted the language to be fun to use. How cool is that? All right, Section 3, shortcuts and heavy lifters, speeding up the process. Okay, so you know Python now. But wait. Do you have to write thousands of lines of complex code from scratch every single time you want to draw a simple graph? No way, absolutely not. You do not start from scratch, all thanks to our third technology, libraries. In modern data science, efficiency is literally everything, and libraries provide the ultimate efficiency hack. So, in the coding world, a library is essentially this digital box stuffed with pre-written code. Smart programmers from all over the globe have already spent countless hours writing the complex math and graphing code that you need. So instead of reinventing the wheel, you just borrow their library using a tiny one-line shortcut command in Python. Boom! You do all that complex work in literally 1 second. It is a massive, game-changing time saver. Moving right up the stack, we add step 4, data processing tools. Now, libraries are absolutely amazing, but what happens when you have a data set so insanely massive that even your super efficient Python code starts to struggle and lag? Well, that is exactly when you bring in specialized data processing tools. Think of these tools as a heavy-duty industrial forklift for your data. To really wrap your head around this immense scale, let's look at companies like Netflix and Google. They aren't just dealing with thousands of records, they're analyzing the clicks of billions of users in real time. To handle this, they use massive, highly specialized data processing software. These tools take that incredibly heavy data, chop it up into much smaller chunks, and then process all those chunks simultaneously at lightning speed across multiple computers. I mean, that's exactly how your recommendations update the exact second you finish watching a show. Which brings us to Section 4, Showing Off the Work, Application Design. So, we've processed the massive data and run our brilliant analytics, which brings us to Step 5, Application Design. This is the final technology in our stack, and it's used to build user-friendly screens, interactive dashboards, or sleek mobile apps. It is basically the vital bridge between all that complex math and the actual end user. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact reason why this fifth step is completely mandatory. Just imagine handing a CEO a screen filled entirely with confusing black and white terminal code. Yikes, right? Now, compare that to handing them a screen filled with beautiful, interactive charts and buttons. The difference is night and day. Application design ensures that any normal person, totally regardless of their technical background, can easily click around and instantly understand the amazing million-dollar analytics you just discovered. You're taking all that complicated processing running invisibly in the background and beautifully connecting it to a screen that tells a compelling visual story. Finally, Section 5, Your Next Steps, Continuing Your Learning Journey. Let's lock this core takeaway into our memories today. 5. When it comes to the engine powering modern data analytics, there are exactly 5 core technologies you need to know. It's a completely organized, repeatable system. Here is a super quick recap of the completed building blocks we just assembled from the ground up. Number 1, a reliable operating system. 2, the easy-to-read Python language. 3, helpful libraries to save you a ton of time. 4, heavy-duty data processing tools for massive scale. And 5, application design to beautifully show off your final results. Now, if you're excited to start building this stack yourself, I highly encourage you to dive deeper into these exact tools. You can check out the full list of modern software development courses at Agile Epic Tech Skills by heading over to agile.epictechskills.com/all-courses. And also, definitely make sure to watch the rest of our beginner series on our Mentor YouTube channel at youtube.com/@imamentor/videos. All right, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to ponder today. Which of these 5 technologies do you actually want to learn first? Are you drawn to the logic and structure of Python coding? Or do you absolutely love the visual creativity of application design? Let me know your answer in the comments below. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss our upcoming content, and I will see you in the next explainer.
இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you for watching.